Foodborne diseases cause an estimated 76 million illnesses each year. Foodborne diseases cause 5,000 deaths in the U.S. each year. Hundreds of thousands of victims are hospitalized due to food contamination. Billions of dollars are wasted on food product recalls. The food supply chain is a target of our enemies. Is our food supply under attack? The safety and security of our food supply is in the hands of the people who work in the food industry. Hundreds of thousands of people worldwide. There are farmers and ranchers, people who plant and harvest. There are processors and distributors and logistics and transportation people. There are people working in food processing plants and people who serve and support the food industry. These are everyday people, people just like you and me. When you think about it, a lot depends on us. The country, the community, and our families count on us for a reliable and safe food supply. This is a classified training program to help address serious issues and concerns regarding the security and safety of this nation's food supply. You've been selected for this critical training program because you play a key role in the food industry. You make a difference in protecting the food supply. You care. You matter. We need your intelligence, your observation skills, and conscientiousness and common sense. Tragedy follows complacency, and it's the little things that have a big impact on food safety and security. Complacency leads to mistakes. Maybe the mistake is a small one, but that small mistake could be compounded by another mistake and another until we have a major breakdown. We prevent tragedy by controlling the details. Controlling the details is what safety and security are all about. And all of us play an important role in 3 ways: awareness, compliance, and support. Food safety and security begin with your awareness of the procedures. Good safety and security programs have rules, and the rules are usually in writing. Your role and responsibilities in food safety and security begin with your awareness of the rules. We expect our vendors and service providers to make themselves aware of them. Don't learn a rule by being told that you violated one. Be proactive. Ask your contact for an explanation of the rules that affect you. The following items may be required upon your visit to the food facility. All vehicles on the customer's property shall be identified with the company name. All vehicles shall be parked in designated areas and locked when unattended. Contractors shall enter through designated entrances. Contractors shall follow proper sign-in procedures and provide government and company-issued identification upon request. Contractors shall follow facility good manufacturing practice, GMP, and security rules such as reporting any illness, open lesion, or other abnormal source of microbial contamination to company officials, compliance with company dress policy, wearing visitor contractor badges as requested, wearing hair and beard restraints as required, eating, drinking, and tobacco use in only designated areas, no jewelry worn in the facility, keeping work areas neat and orderly, reporting chemicals brought onto company property, accessing only designated areas of the facility. You may choose to pause the training program to discuss your company-specific rules for the issues previously discussed. Once aware of the rules, you're expected to observe them. Compliance is your second responsibility in our food supply safety and security program.
How you doing, sir?
Can I help you, sir?
Yeah, I've got a delivery.
Can I see your ID, please?
There you are.
Hold on a minute.
All right, thank you.
It's okay, they're expecting you.
Okay.
Put that pass on your dash. And take this road and turn at the first intersection back to dock number 1. And then follow that road to the end of the building and turn right. It's just a short distance, and you'll be right there.
Thank you very much. Have a good one.
Follow our safety and security instructions to the letter. If you don't understand the rules or the instructions, ask questions. Make sure that you have a very clear picture of what's expected of you. From your point of view, a rule or instruction may not make sense or may look like an inconvenience and extra work. But give us the benefit of the doubt. We have created our food safety and security procedures for good reasons. They protect and benefit all of us in the long run. The final way we keep the details of food safety and security under control is by supporting the objectives of our food safety and security program. Help improve the procedures by making suggestions when you think an improvement can be made. If you see something wrong, tell your contact about it. You can support our efforts for food safety and security by ensuring that your fellow employees understand the importance we place in food safety and helping them understand our rules and procedures.
It's going to be busy today. Any questions about yesterday?
I don't think so. I thought you did a pretty good job of explaining things. Thanks for your patience.
You're a quick learner. I like the way you pick up on things. Today will be a little different though. We're going to early rise baking to follow up on a repair we made to one of the refrigeration units last month.
The Worcester Pike plant.
Right. Early Rise is a food processing business. Food processors are very big on food safety. Early Rise takes it very seriously. They expect us to know the safety and security rules and comply with them, okay?
Sure, but what roles?
Good question. When you're on your own out there, remember that these plants have strict food supply safety procedures. When you first call to a customer that you haven't serviced, always, and I mean always ask your contact to explain their safety and security rules for visitors. See if they'll give you a copy of them.
Got it.
It'll be a little easier today. I already have the rules and made a copy of them for you. Early Rise has a visitor training program that explains most of this. The first thing we'll do when we get there is sign you in for the training. And it wouldn't hurt for me to go through the training again, so I'll probably go with you.
Good.
But I want you to study the procedures anyway tonight. This is your first homework assignment.
Not a problem. You can test me when we get there.
I just might. But there are a couple things I want to point out. Look at your shirt pocket.
What?
You can't have anything in any pocket above the waist. Something might fall out and contaminate their products. They also require that you have positive ID. I stopped by Human Resources and picked up yours. You need to put this on your belt like mine. We'll cover the rest out there. All right, we better get going.
Now that's what I call support. When we opened this training program, we said that the food safety and security of our food supply is in the hands of the people who work in the food industry. A lot depends on us. Our customers, our community, and our families count on us for reliable and safe food. We can't do it all alone. We need your help. Now, let's go back to John Wagner and Dan Eckel. They've arrived at the Early Rise Baking Company plant, and Wagner has a few more pointers for Dan.
The first step when servicing a plant like this one is to line up with your contact. He will act as a guide and provide oversight for your work. The important point is we can't enter a processing area without the proper escort. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Our contact here is Bob Gorman. I called him yesterday and told him we'd be arriving about now. Knowing Bob, he's waiting for us.
Thank you for your call. Oh, hello, John.
Oh, hi, Sue. You remembered. Hard at work again, I see.
Oh, yes, off to another busy day. How can I help you this morning?
Well, first I'd like to introduce you to this guy. This is Dan Eckel, our new service tech. He'll be visiting you now and then.
Nice to meet you, Dan.
Nice to meet you.
We're here to see Bob Gorman.
Fine, here are your ID badges. Go ahead and sign in the log sheet.
Okay.
I'll let Bob know you're here.
Okay.
Oh, here he is.
Hi, fellas. Right on time.
Hi, Bob. Good to see you again.
Thanks for coming in so quickly to check on the unit. And who's this young man?
This is Dan Eckel, our new service tech. He's finishing up his training. I've been showing him the ropes.
We've got a great teacher, Dan. John knows this place inside and out.
It's nice to meet you. I'm looking forward to working with you.
Well, if you guys are all signed in, let's get going. Sue, we need headgear, hair nets, one beard restraint, smocks and glasses for these guys.
You may choose to pause the training program to discuss your company-specific rules for the issues previously discussed.
I see you brought your toolbox with you. Before we can take this into the facility, there are a few items I need to address. First, as part of our hazard communication program, We need to have MSDS sheets for every chemical that you plan to bring into the facility. Also, we need to approve every chemical for use in the facility. As a food operation, we can only allow certain chemicals into the plant. One of your chemical containers doesn't have a label. All chemical containers must have proper labels so everyone knows what's in the container. We can't allow bug spray in the facility. Pesticides are restricted. Only licensed individuals or specially trained people can apply this in the plant. And one last thing. We have to remove this glass jar with the bolts. This item has to be removed and the bolts put in a proper storage container. As a food operation, we have a strict policy against allowing glass in the facility.
Sorry about that. I didn't realize all these items had so many issues. We just finished up a job at an automotive plant and we didn't have all these rules.
Well, a food operation has to take special precautions as far as glass items and various chemicals are concerned. Well, now that we've taken care of this, let's be on our way. John, I know you're familiar with the occupational safety rules, but I will provide you specific guidance on our safety rules as you complete your work. Please take a minute to review our emergency exit plan so that you are familiar with the exit routes in case of an emergency.
Those guys did a pretty nice job demonstrating some good security and safety practices. Let's take a moment to review them. First, follow the plant's safety and security check-in procedures. Second, in food supply plants, always work with your plant contact. He's there for oversight and supervision. You shouldn't walk through a processing or packaging operation unescorted. Observe all of the plant's food safety regulations and OSHA regulations that affect your job. Be aware of any hazardous chemicals and materials around your work area and have an escape plan in the event of an emergency. Your contact should make you aware of them. On your first visit to a plant, ask your contact if there are hazardous materials in your work area. You can always ask to see the plant's material safety data sheets. Remember to make your contact aware of any chemicals with you, including chemicals in your toolbox, before entering a processing or packaging operation. And here's a final point. Keep your work area clean and organized. Clean up after yourself when the job's done. This not only shows professionalism, but helps prevent contamination issues in our food supply. Let's move on to the third segment of our training program. When you visit and walk through a food processing facility, you bring things with you. Sometimes you're aware of it, sometimes you're not. The things that you bring with you during your plant visit can accidentally contaminate food products, an unhealthy and even dangerous situation. The equipment you bring into the facility can be a source of debris and filth that have no place in a food processing operation. Keep your tools and equipment clean and in respectable condition. Watch where the wheels roll. Don't allow your equipment to drag filth into a food processing operation. Please cooperate with security officers who may ask to inspect your tools and equipment before entering our facilities. And by the way, cell phones are not permitted in most areas of our plant. How we dress and what we wear in a food processing facility has a huge impact on food supply safety and security. We have two general rules. Rule 1. Don't wear it in our facilities if it isn't clean. That's why we think it's a good idea to carry an extra uniform in your vehicle in case you accidentally come into contact with some kind of contamination on your uniform during the day. Rule 2. Don't wear it if it could fall off or fall out. Don't wear jewelry. It could fall off into food product and represents a safety hazard around industrial equipment. Never have anything in a pocket above the waist. Don't wear anything on your belt that could fall off. Clothing worn in food processing operations should not use buttons as fasteners. Buttons pop off easily. Metal snaps or Velcro fasteners are better and safer. You may be asked to wear an outer garment if your garment doesn't meet our standards for preventing food contamination. Preventing food contamination requires personal cleanliness and neatness. clean uniforms, clean equipment, and a clean appearance. Personal hygiene is critical in our environment. Hands should be clean and washed frequently throughout the day. Exposed body hair creates additional opportunity for food contamination. Head covers or hairnets must be used in certain areas of the plant. You should wear socks, industrial shoes, and long pants. Men with beards should wear beard covers near food processing operations. This is Bill Huff. He's a service representative for Nature's Spring Water Company, who services the employee cafeteria. He's here to restock the vending service. To get there, Bill must walk through our food processing operation. You are the security officer checking him in. You may choose to pause the training program to discuss your company-specific rules for the issues previously discussed. Bill's hair isn't restrained with a hairnet or head cover. Bill's wearing a silver chain. Nice piece of jewelry, actually, but it can't be worn around our food processing operations. His shirt has buttons that could pop off into our products. His shirt should have metal snap closures or Velcro. If he doesn't have the proper attire now, we should ask Bill to wear one of our outer garments. Good job if you got that one. Uh-oh, there's a cell phone clipped to Bill's belt. It should be removed and left behind. Bill's wearing long pants, which are required in food processing operations. But look at those shoes. He can't enter the plant like this. He must be wearing industrial shoes. Steel-toed shoes are even better. We must also discuss disease and microbial contamination. Disease and microbial contamination are serious concerns to food supply safety and security. People who are ill or who have an open lesion or infection should not be working around food processing or food packaging operations. Anyone who has direct contact with food, food preparation equipment, and food packaging material must protect against microbial contamination. If you're sick, stay away from food processing. When you're working in the food production or warehousing areas, you will be near food products. It is very important that you keep your work area clean during your service to prevent foreign materials from possibly contaminating the food or packaging supplies and equipment. Always look around you prior to starting work, such as drilling, cutting, grinding, welding, etc. If necessary, erect approved shields from the plant that will prevent these foreign materials from becoming a possible contaminant. As you notice in this scene, the technicians have abided by the company dress policy. What are some of the hazards that you notice in this scene? Were you able to ID some of the hazards? As we have seen in this example, precautions need to be taken if you will be working in or near the production or warehousing areas. The first item that we notice is the use of a black bucket with no label to identify its purpose or contents. What about the cleanliness of the top of the tool cart? Do you think there's a chance that these items might fall off into the production areas as the cart is being moved? What about the dirty glove, loose bolts, and other materials lying on top? These materials should be properly stored. How about the location of where they are going to do their work? They're located in close proximity to production equipment. Is there a chance they can move further from this equipment? What about installing shields, covering the equipment, or other means to protect this from possible contaminants? Always look around you to see if there is food, equipment, or other things that might become contaminated from your work activities. Ask your plant contact about these situations, and they can provide the proper guidance. Being aware of your surroundings and the work that you will be doing will greatly limit the concern of you being the source of possible contamination. You can have a significant impact on the safety of the food you're working around. Make sure this is a positive impact. We are nearing the end of our time together. Thank you for participating. We hope you enjoyed the training, but more importantly, we hope it will make a difference in food safety and security.